Hello everybody, and welcome back. We're currently in a war with Mali, and we're also trying to take out rebel scum that are sort of showing up in our new lands here in Western Africa. But I was kind of thinking about, what we've done the last few episodes and such, and I kind of realized that I might be kind of glossing over things at this point. I need to sort of dial myself back in. This is a playthrough intended for complete beginners. And I think while, yes, if I continue to explain everything in the detail that I started doing, the first maybe 10 episodes, then it might be repetitive, but I think that's a good thing, right? Like, that's a good thing because we are learning the game. There is some repetition that's required to learn, to really absorb a lot of the processes that are going on here. Also, I don't know, at this point it's kind of hard to tell what we've talked about, what we haven't talked about. There's a lot of things that we've kind of glossed over intentionally because there was no context to talk about them. So when I need to be more mindful of when we find something like that, and then we can talk fully about it as well. And we need to ask more questions and go exploring for the answers as well. So I think we need to, I'm going to try my best to kind of reel this back in. So it might be a second before we unpause here as we just do some sort of general management of what's going on right now and think about developing a plan a bit. So I'm noticing we got a bunch of money. Should we do something with that? Can we do something with that? How are we doing on our technologies? I can't even remember the last time we checked on those. Although we don't have any banner that's explicitly telling us about that we need to check on our technologies. How's our vassal doing over here, actually? Has the vassal been able to integrate and core all of the land that they took from Scotland? Or are they still having trouble up here? So we could check on that by going to the diplomatic map mode. We can see if they've cored everything. So striped lines would be a bad indicator here. But no, everything is just a solid sort of light. This would be like a dark green. This was a light green. So solid sort of just green. Just green. Which means they have successfully cored all of this land, which is good. One thing that they're struggling with, though, is religious unity. Their religious unity is terrible because most of their provinces are Anglican and they are Catholic, which is good because we're Catholic. Now, I think eventually we'll be able to help convert their lands. The problem is, I think they have religious zeal in every single one of their provinces. Which, of course, so basically when a province, I don't even know if we talked about this in full depth. There's not too much to talk about. When a province is converted from one religion to another using the missionaries, there's a modifier. I can't remember if it's 20 years or 30 years or what, but there's a length of time when you cannot convert it to another religion. The people were just converted to said religion, and you can't just like instantly convert them back. You have to wait till like maybe a couple generations, pass or something like that. One thing that's a bit more complicated of a discussion, I think we might actually sort of talk about it next time, maybe when we get out of a war, but what's our ultimate goal here? What's our goal? Okay, the Portuguese are now looking to create a colonial nation down here, which is kind of annoying. What colonial region would this be? If they formed one here. Colonial Colombia, okay. And better there than like in North America, but so this, interestingly enough, this colony right here is being developed by the colony itself, right? We're not colonizing this province of Moron. This is actually the colony that's actually self-growing. That's the benefit of making these provinces, because they'll self-grow. So right now we are furiously working to get Africa under our control, but I think at this point it's safe to say one of the tricky things about Africa is you cannot form a colonial nation on Africa. You can only do that in the New World or in Australia. The only exception would be Australia. So if we want all this land, we have to dedicate we have to do it ourselves. We can't have a colonial nation do it for us. That being said, most of these, we should look at this land in Africa as more strategic positioning. Now, it might be good to get this here because then it would allow us to attack into these different areas here into Eastern Africa. But do we need to go down to Eastern Africa? You know, it's sort of like, it's sort of an interesting dilemma here that we have. What do we actually want to do? And I think we'll talk more about that later. Let's get out of this war. Let's win this war. Get the bits that we want here, which is definitely going to be the coast. And do we want this just for the sake of it? Because we can? So this province seems to be costing us a decent amount. Aid development. One of the richer ones here. Slaves is the trade good. Not sure if that's a good or bad trade good. Let's just look. Okay, so maybe we'll just be taking that. We can't really take any of their other bits here. And I don't think we're going to be able to do this until we take like their capital or their a fort or something, because there's no forts or capitals over here. So that's why we don't really have much war score, but we are generating war score because we do have the war goal. They don't have any troops, so they can't do anything. They're stuck right now. We just got to wait on that. Just got to wait on that. Can we actually get a claim on Granada? That would be kind of weird. Yeah, we are actually within this sea tile. The Straits of Gibraltar is one sea tile, so we can actually get a claim on all these provinces here in Morocco. Portugal here. Of course, Spain or Castile. And then, well, these bits here, not these up here. We can't reach these ones. So we get a claim on all these different lands. I don't know, like, we don't really need to go to war with Granada. It's just kind of an interesting little thing to observe there. Is that we could snake that out from Castile, except for it mean going to war with the Ottomans, which is kind of a waste of time, I think, for that one province. Let's look at our economy here for a second. Okay, it's not. Why is it not higher? So we are paying 10 ducats for a 4th colony. 10 ducats for a 4th colony. We're way ahead on technologies. The next institution is going to be the printing press, which typically spawns in Germany. In fact, I believe it has to spawn in North or South Germany. So it's, unless it like shows up in Oldenburg or something, it's not likely to appear. Oh, and it has to be Protestant or Reformed. So yeah, it's not going to happen. We're not going to get that one. We got colonialism here. We're not going to get the printing press, but we'll be ready to. We'll be able to embrace it pretty quickly, I suspect. Let's look at rebels for a second here. Not much going on besides. Let's check where this is, though. This is likely to rebel at a point. That'll be fine. We'll have rebels in this area because this is going to be very rebellious land when we take it as well. I suspect these people are upset with us too. Yeah. Lots of rebellious land here. We'll keep troops down here. It won't be a big deal. Our force limit is 88 out of 92. We can build some more troops. And what do we need? Just some infantry would be okay. We could probably use some more cannons, but maybe just 2 and 2 or something. Economy-wise, we have a lot of cash. We're not making a huge amount per month. partly because we are paying a decent amount with advisors, though. Quite a bit with the advisors. We're making a lot of admin per month, which is good, because we are working on this administrative ideas category. And this will give us a nice technology discount for admin technology going forward. And we'll get additional states, which we decided would be pretty good. And of course, once we get the next 3 ideas, we'll be able to get this French idea, including 5% discipline for completing them all. But this will give us some nice reduced unrest in provinces that are heretic or heathen. So the land that we conquer, it's either going to be Catholic and we'll get modifiers because it's our religion, good modifiers because it's our religion, or it won't be our religion, but we'll get this extra tolerance that will basically reduce the unrest in this province. So it'll make the rebellions less impactful. Looks like we have a lot of good generals here. Of course, France is France. There's never a shortage of good generals. We need to get the Traders Guild, the Merchant Guild, to 40 influence so that we can hit some of these buttons to boost their influence even more so that we can demand diplomatic support and get a bunch of power that way. So is London already controlled? London is not controlled by the Merchant Guild. We probably want to do this. Also, have we technically not shifted? Wait a second. Have we not moved our trade capital yet? We haven't. We're about to make an insane amount of money, guys. We're earning 14 ducats here, and this isn't even our trade capital. We are about to make a disgusting amount of money, I suspect. Because one thing we can do is, so if we look here in Champagne, right? Champagne, we can see that the total wealth of this node, will it tell us the total anywhere? We could see that it's about, well, there's 9 that's still hanging out here. There's 9 that hangs out here and gets collected. And then there's 9 that's sort of leaving. If we look at the English channel, this is an end node. Nothing leaves the English channel. There's 20 ducats here up for grabs. In fact, we're earning 14 of it. But what we could do is if we actually made this our trade capital, we could actually push the trade to the English channel and collect a much larger sum here and move all of this money that we're collecting here. We can just move it to the trade capital. Or move it to the English channel, which would be our trade capital. And then we could also create a longer merchant chain because the merchants that are downstream from the English channel will give us a lot more power. Yeah. So I think it is time. It is officially time, as we do control all the important, except for this one province. It's owned by Castile, just out of silly luck that they inherited the northern Burgundy. We control all the centers of trade here. But one thing we want to do is we definitely need to give this to... We haven't given any of this to the merchant guilds. Huh. Interesting. Let's give London to the merchant guilds, because remember, this is going to mean that local trade power is going to be plus 50%. With London, I don't know. Let's just do it. It makes sense to me. It makes thematic sense to me. It's a big trade center. Let's give it to the traders. That gives them a lot more... Doesn't actually give them too much influence. Let's also give them Holland. Because we're trying to get them to 30% influence, I think. And now they're at 30% influence, so we can actually hit this button here to get them to 40. Once they're at 40, we can use Grant New World Charter, which will make our colonies grow faster. From this point, we can recruit a cheap minister. That would be kind of nice, actually. What's our national... Right now, we're using the national unrest guy. Is he actually doing anything? Yeah, he's kind of keeping the Norwegian separatists from doing anything silly. But most of these others are going to rebel with or without this guy. So we could actually recruit. Do we have a lot of inflation? No. But the inflation guy isn't really that important. But that's what this guy does. He's a half-cost level 3 admin guy that reduces inflation. That is kind of nice, though. I think for now, let's just hit these buttons. It's going to be a good amount of ducats, actually. They're going to be a little upset just for a couple days. Just for a couple days, but that'll bounce back. That'll bounce back. We have 30,000 troops here, and I gotta wonder if this is pointless. The unrest here is 0. They're Catholic. The separatism will be ticking away over time. Technically, if we move the troops off, there would be a 5% chance to rebel. But yeah, let's send the whoa, we can't do that quite yet because they do have a fleet down here. Not a significant fleet, but a fleet. That's kind of annoying, actually. And we'll figure it out. They're just drilling. They're not hurting anybody. Troops aren't hurting anybody. It says we have 88,000 troops. Okay, 30,000 there, 20,000 there. Oh, we have 40,000 in Africa. Okay, that's what I wasn't calculating. That's what I wasn't adding up correctly. Yeah, oh, I didn't see these troops. Okay. They're already going into Mali. Okay, to try to get a fort or something in Mali. Right on. We're building the spy network in Mali. We don't really need that, honestly. It might be kind of decent to build one in Fulo. No, Benin. Benin. This is actually critically important. The Papal State loves us. Pull back our diplomats there. So what are we doing with all of our cash? We got a lot of cash. Apparently we're actually going to be over our force limit now that we've made London 25% autonomy. It was 0%, now it's 25%. So we've actually lost a force limit from that. That's okay. That'll bounce back. Any good buildings that we can build here? Ooh, 0.16 with 3 building slots. I like that. 0.14 with 4 available building slots. That's really nice. So Picardy only has 2 building slots. What have you already built here? Ah, the fort. Okay. Let's put a temple there. There's 4 building slots. I like it. Guys, are we not even going to unpause the game? 3 building slots here for 0.19. We just got to make sure that we're not like building these like in the New World or something. This sounds kind of like... No, okay. Yeah, these are... Where did these... Have we not looked at buildings for like a few episodes or something? These are some good spots to build. Yeah, this is definitely in our area. Kent, sure. Again, 3 building slots. There's no reason not to build one of these in an area with 3 building slots. These areas here with only 2, we could kind of like be a little bit more hesitant. Although here, livestock's not that great. We built barracks. That's part of the reason why we have less building slots. We want to have building slots available so that eventually we're going to want to build universities and manufactories. Now there's some good provinces here to now build manufactories, it looks like. I mean, a 0.52 is starting to look mighty nice. If we look here, does it already have a workshop and a temple? Yes. So if we built the manufacturer here, we'd still be able to build the university. The university is nice because it actually is a building. We're way off from being able to build these yet, but it's a building that adds the number of, like, possible number of buildings plus one. So the building slot pays for itself. And there's another, one of the later institutions, Enlightenment, actually wants universities specifically. So universities, while they're not like incredible unless you're going to develop that area, the actual benefit of them, they're not too expensive in the late game, and they do help you get that last institution done really nicely. So I think in this case, for a 0.5, we'll build one manufacturing here. There we go. So once that's all done, we should actually be making a good amount of money, additional money. We should be making a few ducats extra a month just because of that. And we're thinking we're going to make more money by moving our trade capital to London, which we cannot do because we're at war. Okay. So I think we've done a good job. Too many diplomatic relations. We're doing something with Benin. Well, we have military access through here. Why did Benin come up when we clicked on this? We should probably have a royal marriage with our vassal. There's no reason not to. We have an heir. We don't have an heir, but we have a really, really, really good leader. Like a fantastic 15-year-old leader. 633, I'll take it with kind-hearted. Wow. So this reduces monthly war exhaustion. So we basically can't get war exhaustion. It's just, even at war, it's just going down. Ports are being blockaded, not too worried about it. I don't think we need to send the fleet down here to... the fleet's healthy. Let's send it down. Let's free up these transports. We need to get these transports up and doing something more useful. Do we have... What is our... Okay, so our Conquistador still moving and grooving. That's good. That's going to bounce back. Although we're going to lose a little bit of money until that bounces back. We can make states. All of proper France is already stated. All of the centers of trade here are stated. How many states can we make? We actually look... It looks like we have enough states at the moment. Why did we state this over here? I don't know. We can make one state. Let's save it. Let's save it. Although I think Essex might be kind of good. I don't think we need to state too far into England because a lot of this is kind of junk land, but I think this stuff down here is decent. Okay, guys. Let's unpause the game. Okay, good. Oh, we can't get through Portugal. Ugh. This is why we need our fleet to come down here. After all. And because we don't have a conquistador, this is taking a while to go through here. And the funny thing is, when this war ends, we're going to get black flagged. Lots of annoying things here. But if they take enough of this land here, the good news is... What? Ooh, that's really good. Fetished. Or fetished-ist. Wow, sorry, can't speak. That's actually really good that this nation is actually doing well here because it's much easier to convert from fetishist to from that to Catholic than from Sunni to Catholic. Sunni is actually one of the more annoying. Okay, so how are our colonies doing actually? We're working on this one. That was one that we took from... These were both ones that we took from Portugal. Why do we need a colonist there exactly, though? I wouldn't mind having full control of the Cape if we can wrangle it. But at the same time, we kind of need to get going here. Taking on... getting these colonies going in the New World here. Like, getting the 13 colonies up and going would be great. Chesapeake. Yeah, so let's go to Chesapeake. These should be finishing very soon. Should be making a lot of money though in the short term. Okay. This is kind of unfortunate. And we're getting attrition through here. The land has very poor supply limit. Do we have someone with better... And he's drilling there. Let's assign this person. A little bit better maneuver. Yep. Getting less attrition. Not none, but less. Is this not controlled by Mali? Not letting us go this direction. Or are we only able to go here because we have military access through them anyways? I don't know. That's right. Let's get the royal marriage with our vassal too. That makes sense to me. Thanks for reminding me, Castile. Heck, we could make them happy. England, definitely. We could attack into England too. Do we have a lot of claims on England? Not a lot, but we have some. We're building a spy network there too. England, of course, would not be a very difficult battle. In fact, I think if we had these 30,000 troops up here, that'd be more than enough. And we have 19,000 here that can defend against their mainland allies, which is Cologne and Salzburg. Yeah, that's not going to be a problem at all. Although Salzburg is actually at war with Lübeck. Oh, did Lübeck, like, explode or something? Wasn't Lübeck quite a bit bigger than this? Yes, they were. So these striped areas, again, are places they had cores, right? They had cores on all these areas. In fact, Lübeck might not even exist in a second here. That's kind of unfortunate. It's kind of unfortunate. This war. This war. What is the actual war goal for? Why are you not piecing them out? Okay, it has to do with... Okay, so hopefully after this, we're taking attrition sitting here, because we're sitting here with a bunch of other troops. Hopefully after this is done, they'll just end the war. Hopefully. Let's go up the speed 4 here. Ugh, that's not a good air. There's a good chance this air might not survive, though, because our leader's so young. Not a good queen, either. It's not a good modifier. Negative. Okay, this is what we wanted here. Why are you attacking into... Rebels will be rebels, huh? Okay, now their capital's down. Okay, so let's just take the land that we want. We could take their money and their war reps, except we can't get their war reps until There we go. They had no garrison, so we immediately got the sieges done. We're taking their money, we're taking war reps, we're taking all this land because we can. Get black flagged here though. What we got up here? We got 10, 2, and 8. Here we also have 10, 2, and 8. Okay, so we'll have these ones move over here and fight the rebels. We don't need the military access here anymore. Let's cancel that. Paying the diplomatic power to do that. Get the cores going. And continue to convert things. Ugh. So this is all Sunni. Yep, we're gonna feel that. We're gonna feel that pain here in a second. We're gonna convert that from Sunni to Catholic. That's gonna be painful. Still exploring areas, because we can. Bring these troops up. Proper France. One more cannon, we'd have a nice 20 stack here too. And we can, nice, we can get one more cannon. We will round that out. So we'll have 3 solid 20 stacks and then we have a 30 stack. Now the question is, what do we need for England? Is a 20 stack enough for England? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, because we're probably also doing better than them on military tech. They're only one behind. Only one behind, but how are they doing on military ideas, though? They have one idea. They have exploration ideas. They have a single colonist. I don't think they can even reach the New World, even if they wanted to. Yeah, they have no ideas. They have minus 50 prestige. We're getting, what is it, 10 or 15% morale? 10% morale from this. A lot of morale from our ideas, which we have, of course, aristocratic ideas, which give us bonuses in combat. And also, Elan is giving us 20% morale, and we're higher on military tech. Yeah, 20,000 troops is going to be more than enough to take on England. Where is their capital, though? Norfolk. Okay. Let's get the heavies back. We don't need them there. Back the heavies. It's weird. It's like, should we be paying for forts? All right. You know what? I think we spent a lot of time paused, but I think we sort of refocused ourselves a bit. I think that was actually a good episode. We didn't do anything, but it was a good episode to go through that process of kind of reorganizing where we're at, reminding ourselves that, hey, we're still doing this, still beginner style. This stack will also be able to attack Benin, who's allied with a couple people that don't matter. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I will catch you guys in the next one.